and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Wednesday, April 30th. And it's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. Once again, this is C.A. Newry, and I shall be your host for today. Before I start, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the poem 30 Days in September, April, and November. And all the rest have 31 except February. I was sure this month had 31 days. So you see me trying to recite that poem, saying, and I keep on forgetting the word April. And I said, I'm sure April in it. And I said, because you just mumble over the words. But the April is in that poem. And that means there's only 30 days in this month.
I know April. She in the poem. She in the office.
Do you know May?
I do know May. But May owe me money, so I don't.
What about June?
I always look forward to seeing her.
What about June?
June hot.
Okay. But do you know, in my family, my aunt, I have April, May, my mother's May. I have June. I mean, a smile. I mean, I have the rest of the months, but those, April, May, and June, I have all of that in my family.
You remember the show, I can't even remember what it's called now. Is it Keeping Up Appearances? With Hyacinth?
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah, I have
But her name is Bucket?
I have an aunt Hyacinth and a sister named Pansy.
Yeah, all the sisters on that show, they Rose, Hyacinth, Violet.
My mother is Mayrose. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
So they all month name?
Yeah, that's like that. Yeah.
That's
Different?
You know, when you speak power to someone, like the power in words, and you
would know my Grammy name?
Yeah.
Laurel. Apparently that's some kind of tree.
A laurel.
Laurel tree, yeah.
Yeah, and then you make the laurel wreath.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's a theme.
That's because their parents projected greatness for them.
That's what it was?
Yes, with these, and charisma and beauty and intrigue with these names. That's like you invest in your children's future by there's power in their names.
I have an Aunt Cherry. That's part of my conversation we're having today, actually. My grandmother had 21 children. Now, my grandfather, he have a little additional one or two. But we don't count them set. But my grandmother, she had...
Not all the time.
Yeah, she had 21 children. Today, we're talking about women. Women in politics. The headlines. You got to buy The Guardian. You got to buy the other newspaper. I mean, the Tribune nice, too. But you got to buy The Guardian today because I want to... analyze. Today is mash down, mash up Wednesday. And there's one or two things I want to talk about, but I want to talk about women in politics. And I have a woman inside the studio. I have a woman inside.
I see why I put on my fatigues today.
Yes, because the water.
I see why the producer, like I just going to tell him, play the song, Oh Bear With Me.
He know we're going to go back and forth and row today.
Okay.
Women in politics. In the last elections in 2017. That's 2017, the last election?
No, 2019 snap election.
Thanks.
Snap. Right? 2019 snap election?
Yeah,
2021.
2021?
Snap election.
I'm just going to...
That was 2019 was the year after the fire at the thing, and we had no snap report.
I understand.
Yeah.
In 2021, part of the PLP's platform was they were empowering women. They said they had the largest contingent of women running in the general election. In fact, they put them in ministerial positions. In fact, the Prime Minister pledged to increase the number of women participating in politics. This was trailblazing. There's some type of affirmative action where he said the PLP tent is huge. He said they have all kind of talented and powerful women, astute, can equal any man. That's their words. That's their words, right? He said that as time goes on, the numbers will increase. And I said, look at these people. That was part of their platform. They even brag about it and say, look at that for them. They ain't doing that. And I said, that's a feather inside their cap. I see what they're doing. And in other jurisdiction, I think in Ethiopia, was it Ethiopia? No. What that place, Rwanda. Mm-hmm. How 50% of their women candidates, MPs.
Yeah, they participated in a broader, not just regional, but a global sort of policy shift. The intention is to create an environment that could possibly result in more female elected officials.
Let's score that. I want you to explain that to me so I can explain to the listening audience. They created a what?
Okay, so there was a I think like UN-led campaign seeing across the globe the lack of or the low levels of female participation in frontline politics, right? We talked for decades and trying to devise mechanisms to increase the number of women elected officials. Understanding that you cannot tell people how to vote, right? You cannot force people to vote for women. I think one of the strategies that they resulted with was that we can increase the number of female candidates running in elections with a hope that with more women available for the election, right, for nomination, that we would see more elected officials. Okay.
So they create a policy, one.
Right.
Right? And they put, one of the policies is put more women forward as candidates.
Exactly.
Two,
yeah.
Right? That means they made a conscientious effort.
Uh-huh.
Right? As part of their political policy
They
to increase the numbers.
Yeah, they created a quota, right? So they said, but 50% of your candidates must be female.
Now, when they asked for Bahamian election, in the Bahamas, broad strokes now, generalizing, I'm saying, do Bahamians tend to vote for individual candidates more, or they tend to vote for party more?
They tend to vote for
broad strokes now.
party more.
Party more.
Yeah.
So whoever the particular party puts forward, more than likely, propensity, the party supporters will vote for whoever they put forward because they're more party people. Is that what you said or suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay. So, my prime minister.
Okay, let me use an example. Like, I think it would the candidate that doesn't the party supporter doesn't vote for. So, say the FNM puts a woman candidate in a seat, a strong FNM seat, and the people don't vote for them. That means that the individual wasn't making any sense, right? Or they may have had a horrible track record.
So, it wouldn't be because they're female, though.
No, it wouldn't be because they're female, because the people then voting for whoever is in that spot. But when you see that if it's a safe seat and they don't vote for that person, it's more likely that it's because of their track record and less likely because of the gender.
And all of this is a preamble to our conversation soon, the headlines. But I haven't reached it yet because I want to trash this out, hash it out as to what exactly is being said. And should we as Bahamians be offended, or we should be alarmed, or we should challenge back, push back, and say, no, come back with sense. But I'm not reached there yet, right? So far, in general, we know that more than likely we are a party politics type nation. We support party instead of individual.
Party first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then individual second. If the person
Yeah.
ain't making sense, no, I can't support you. But that's my party. But no, I ain't voting whatever it is, right? Now, the last election, 2021 election, the PLP had even more numbers of party people, females, put forward, but they put them against each other.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you noticed it. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
So I think they have a total of 4. And correct my numbers. At this present time, how many female PLPs are there? MPs now.
MPs? So we have Lisa Ramming.
Lisa Ramming, that's one.
We have Jo Beth Colby. We have Glennis Hannah Martin,
That's 3.
of course. We have Pia Glover.
That's 4.
We have Leslie Miller Bryce.
5. And the speaker.
Patricia DeVoe.
So there's 6
Right, at least.
at least.
Hold on, because I have an article here that
mind
says it's 7.
But
Hold on.
someone could always text me. How much you looking?
It's 7.
7?
Yeah, I just gotta. Yeah, I know. There's 7. You know, show the name.
What the name is, producer? Ginger
There
Moxie.
we go.
See, there you go.
And see, it's not because she's a woman, you know. It's because it's Grand Bahama.
It's far off.
And we Nassau people.
Yeah, we're Nassau based.
Yeah.
So it's a total of 7 current female MPs, and we're hoping to up to maybe 10. But anyway, let's talk with this. The PLP, I think I had about 13 or 14 women vying, but they put them against each other,
Yeah, and that
which lowered the number of females possible.
I don't want to call it a tactic or a strategy because that suggests malfeasance in the context of the greater global strategy. The strategy is to create an environment where it's likely that you'll have more female candidates elected, right? Putting 2 women in the same seat sort of negates the power, that strategy. And so it's unfortunate, but I think it is a tactic.
And I'm not negating or suggesting that the F&M didn't do the same thing, because I know how many F&M females.
Well, it's almost like collusion, right? Like we have to figure out, well, who was ratified first.
But definitely the PLP used it as a platform. So that's why I'm using them as an example. They said this is what they plan to do. This is what they do when they're empowering women. Not the F&M didn't actually have that as a part of the platform, even though they too are suggesting that they want more female politicians. But they're not actively pursuing that. It's all
Right, but you remember that little moment we had, that little blip in time a few weeks ago, maybe even a month and a half ago, where a prospective F&M candidate announced on air that the F&M had ratified 14
Whoa.
female candidates. Now, the almost immediately after...
shut down.
Right. However, I think in there may be some truth. I mean, I think that we should expect to see a larger number of women vying for a nomination, and possibly a larger number of women selected within the FNM.
Okay.
And I think you see Michaela Barnett Ellis, Senator.
They have 2 female F&M senators.
Yeah,
I think.
Maxine Seymour and Michaela Barnett Ellis.
And someone can call and correct me if it's more than that.
Right.
But that's 2 I can think of.
But both of them, they've been very vocal. Seymour has been vocal on child protection issues, child rights issues, gender-based violence, and she may not even use the term gender-based violence, but domestic violence issues. She's been very vocal, particularly on violence against children. And Barnett Ellis has also been very vocal on more policy and technical matters, engaging in the House. But I think both of those senators, if it's possible that this is an indicator of what to expect.
They seem confident.
Yeah. Yeah. And committed.
Something I also observe, that both parties, when they have decided to run a female candidate, they put the female candidate next against another female candidate to cancel one.
What I'm saying.
Another strategy again. Well, first they put them as potential candidates to cancel each other out. And then when they finally get the nomination, they put them against each other again to cancel one out. It only could be one.
And
it ain't gonna be 2.
Because here's my problem. I don't think that they're foolish. Right? These strategists are not foolish. They know what they're doing.
You think it's intentional?
Yes, I think it's intentional.
Now, let's read from The Guardian first.
Okay.
That's our newspaper. The headlines, and see why I am alarmed, why I am concerned, where I am crying out. I see you call out. Give me a couple of seconds. After they read this article, you can call in right afterwards and I can have you join in. But I am alarmed because of the verbiage. And I think women need to be alarmed at the verbiage, especially if the PLP have competent women inside that party. I'm not sure anymore. But let's read the article and see.
Today's Nassau Guardian. PM decries dirty, in quotations, politics. Davis hopes for more female PLP MPs. The headline have me, you decrying dirty politics? Why now and why not at the convention? Why not at the convention when there was a woman candidate?
Miss Aaron Green?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
I hear you.
My
But let's
bad.
stay focused.
Okay,
I see
my
you
bad.
getting motive now. But I agree with you. They mashed that woman. No, sorry.
Davis hopes. Yeah, let me get back to the article.
Me. Go ahead, stay focused.
That's what they say. You all say that's the problem with women now.
They must
Davis
stand women
hopes
right
for
up.
more female PLP MPs. Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, said yesterday he wants to see more women in Parliament, but expressed concern that the, quote, feral, close quotes, that's FERAL.
That's wild and rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The feral nature of Bahamian politics deters them from getting involved. Could we stick a pin here just for 3 seconds?
Go ahead.
See, because at the start of the campaigning for the snap election, right, and even before then, in the campaigning for the 2017 election, the 2021 election, I indicated that the greatest task a prime minister will face in this country right now is his or her ability to cause or compel his colleagues,
Don't be feral.
exactly, the people who work under him, people in the country generally, to govern themselves, to moderate their behavior, to discipline themselves, and to encourage and compel others to do the same.
Is the prime minister talking about the FNM being feral, or he talking about the people inside his party being feral?
We have to be talking about all of them because he said the nature of Bahamian politics.
Do you remember that chairmanship race? Was there any feral ability?
I mean,
ferality.
You tell me.
that word up.
You tell me.
They mashed that
Because they
woman
had
right up.
they had a voice note, and the voice note started with, "Look at."
Train.
I defer to your wisdom.
Yes.
It was horrible.
It was harsh.
It was horrendous.
They mash her up.
It was nasty.
But at least
Hold on, and most of all, they use language that is a part of rape culture and perpetuates rape
we gotta
culture.
put you all in your place. Your woman's be aggressive sometime. You know, sometime I gotta remind you. Shh.
You know what? I agree because I should shh when I cook in the grits.
Yes. Go.
I should
You
shh
can burn
when
people up. See, that's-
No, I just said that quiet in the house when you cook in the grits.
Go ahead. Finish reading.
Quote, the challenge with our politics is it has become so feral that it drives away not just good women, but good men as well, close quotes, Davis told reporters. I mean, imagine such honest self-reflection.
Who was trying to run for chairman again in the PLP? Did they drive her away? Did something drive her away?
Robin
Lines? Did they drive her away?
I mean, that's what trains do,
I'm
right?
hoping that she get a nomination.
That's what train drivers do, right?
I hope she gets a nomination someplace.
Or I do as well. Quote, so a good amount shy away from the near, and it has always been my wish to see how we could clean this up, close quotes. I am so happy. I can tell you right now how you could clean it up. Shut down all the war rooms
You gotta shut down the war room.
and stop paying people to peddle
You can't stop paying people.
what you yourself call feral politics. Ahead of the 2020, we'll be back to the article, ahead of the 2021 election, the Progressive Liberal Party nominated 7 women, all of whom won seats in the 39-seat parliament. Davis said have hopes to improve upon the numbers.
Hopes. You couldn't guarantee us? I plan to improve upon the numbers. That's what leadership does. Go finish. Sorry.
Quote, I would like to see as many as I could have for them to come forward and for them to be able to win the hearts and minds of the electorate in the constituency they would wish to run. Close quotes, he said. Quote, for me, it's not just about women candidates. It's about somebody who is willing to step forward, and the gender doesn't matter to me. But yes, I would like to see more females become a part of it. Let me ask you a question. Maybe I won't ask it right now.
Do you believe PLP women, there are PLP women who are interested in running?
Yes.
Like one, maybe? Or more than one?
I'm sure there are many PLP women
Interested in running?
interested in running.
Despite the feralness? Or ferality? I make that word up again. Despite the feralness?
Yeah.
So, is there a real concern? Because it seems as if people are interested, they're just waiting on the opportunity.
No. There is a real concern. That concern has been voiced by many far before the statement by the Prime Minister. The concern has been voiced by many while the Prime Minister was silent on matters that were in the public domain. It does matter to some people. The question is, does it matter to the political class?
I'm going to stop you there, go to the caller, and then go back to the article because we have 2 articles I want to read. And the verbiage. I want to know if there are any competent PLP women. Since there's a PLP prime minister who's speaking, I want to know if PLP women are interested in running, or they limited, or the number's small, or they just incompetent at all. Let's go to the caller. Go ahead. Guardian Radio AM, the CA Newry. Of course, Aaron Green was with me. Caller Green once.
Hello?
Hell, you're live, man.
Okay, good day to you all, and of course, Ways. I have a question. My question is, what's the objective for the Prime Minister to make a statement or a comment such as wanting more women? Because I don't think that came. I've heard that I heard that statement in the United States politics. The thing is, who's satisfying the Bahamian people needs and wants? That's principle. If you notice the last election, a lot of people hadn't voted. Why? Because their needs and their wants was not being satisfied. And not only that, it seems as though they were not pleased with some of the candidates in which was sent to them. So that's a little problem there also.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you got to. I'm not going to tell them what to do, but that is what I've experienced with this last election.
Thank you very much, Bremen.
How people vote is not just based on whether it's a man or a woman, but it is also about their satisfaction or dissatisfaction with the candidate that has been endorsed, right? Because we know that there's this layer of politics, pun intended, in there where the branch identifies potential nominees, but it's the central body that ratifies these nominees, right? And so there could be just a matter of, it's not that I wouldn't vote for a woman, but this is not the candidate that we endorsed, and so I'm not voting for them.
Let's quickly get this next call in and get ready to read the finish read article.
Yes, sir.
Aaron. Go ahead, caller. Guardian Radio AM. Caller, go ahead. Once, caller going twice. Kermit could end the call right there. You call back, caller 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. And if you're calling from Grand Bahama, the Family Islands General, it's 242-357-20. We're talking about women in politics and what exactly is the Prime Minister saying in these two articles in the Guardian. Read both of them just to try analyze the intention, the point, what he suggested. Should we be concerned?
Because here's a question I had, the thing that I didn't want to say out loud, but I can say it out loud now. Are women safe in the PL? Do women feel safe? Forget
Of course
that. Are
they
they
feel
safe?
safe.
So you think Glenys Hannah Martin felt safe on that convention floor when that male voice shout out anonymously? The woman must be in the kitchen. If you was in your kitchen, I don't even want to repeat the rest of it because it was so nasty. You think Robin Lyons felt safe in the PLP party on the convention floor? It's not about whether they are safe or not. The question is, do they feel safe?
One of the issues many people have with women, y'all don't forgive and forget. We didn't forgive that. Glenys, forgive. Sorry, Ms. Hannah Martin.
I got it.
Then forgive them. Ms. Lyons, Robert Lyons, then forgive that. She forget. Why bring it up? Why bring it up, Aaron?
I got attacked by a small bird one time. Mm-hmm. I scared a Cornish hen for the rest of my life. And even when they tell me it was just a small chicken, I was still scared.
Still scared.
Yeah. I don't like them.
Okay.
Here we go. Quote, as you know, my government has an unprecedented number of women in parliamentary affairs and in leadership roles. Close quote. See? Parliamentary affairs and leadership roles is not the same thing as in parliament.
Yeah, see, they confuse them both purposefully to make sure you get grander and bigger than what it is. And I mean, I say, be talking about parliament, but they said my waters and let you get confused. But go ahead. It was good. I like it.
Bamboo Town MP Patricia DeVoe, who is also Speaker of the House, said that while she would like to see each of the major parties field a minimum of 15 women candidates in the next election, okay, we're looking at 39 seats.
Mm-hmm. That's almost half. 15 and 15 is 30 plus 9.
18 would have been almost half.
Yeah, but almost. Yeah.
That's that PLP math again.
She would like that.
I mean, that's lofty. That's lofty.
That's a good number.
She understands the hesitation
What?
of some women to be involved. Quote, "You're attacked from all fronts." I agree, because if she did not have that tall glass of water on that podium,
Yeah, she would have been attacked.
she may have been attacked. I agree. Quote, so DeVoe said, quote, "So I believe women are taking more of a step back because of those attacks, because when you have families, it really impacts them," close quote.
But
This
the
is
list
true.
is long. There is a list of female PLPs who are interested. So why don't make opportunities for those people who are interested?
Yeah.
Not those who are not
so
interested.
we understand that some are not interested, but for those that are
Push
interested,
them set forward.
yeah.
Why not push them set forward who are interested? Why is it, those that are not interested, that's why. See, that don't make no sense.
The Nassau Guardian reported in March on a survey on, quote, women in Bahamian politics, which was completed by researcher William J. Fielding of the University of the Bahamas at the request of the Department of Gender and Family Affairs. That survey found that there is a perception issue that will need to be overcome before a woman can lead the Bahamas. And the first group to have confidence that a woman can lead the Bahamas, can be prime minister, may be the female group. Let me repeat that sentence. And the first group to have confidence, minister, may be the female group. The perception that politics is a, quote, dirty, close quotes game was most commonly considered as being a reason that put women off entering politics, the researcher also stated, quote, "We might surmise that respondents consider women to lack the ability to make hard decisions and be successful in the discussion which take place behind closed doors."
You're going to repeat that part so the listening audience could hear
All right.
what they're saying about women.
Here's the quote from the research or the researcher,
From the
Fielding.
researcher. Fielding.
Quote, "We might surmise."
We have concluded, or come
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
we
conclusion,
may come to the conclusion that respondents consider women.
women to be what? How do
So
you
the people who responded in the survey
consider women to be what?
consider women to lack the ability to make hard decisions.
The Bahamian woman lack the ability
to make
hard decisions. No, I don't want you to analyze that.
Okay.
I just want you to repeat it again.
'Cause
Bahamian
you-
woman do what?
They consider women to lack the ability to make hard decisions
That's one. Go ahead. What else?
and be successful take place behind closed doors.
All these women, female CEOs, trailblazers we have in this country, overshadowing men. Dwarfing men in all facets, right? But politics, we say that women ain't confident enough.
Remember when I got an A for achievement and a C for effort? What if the women getting A for achievement, right? But if they put in an A for effort as well,
Let me ask you that.
yeah.
If we do a survey now as the most successful MP in the PLB, because it's a PLB making it, who would that be right now? I wager it'll be a female. Just call one name who you say, man, this person, in terms of when you're grading all of them, will rank as the highest ranked Pia Glover, woman, right? At this present time.
Yeah.
She would be ranked above the Prime Minister,
Well,
Fred Mitchell, with the doctor.
she'd be ranked right up there with Fred
But see,
Mitchell.
my point is,
Yeah.
she comes from a different thing. Like, when you come from Family Island and you beat all of Nassau people, and you just maybe think the point is you outdo them. She'll outrank with the
Call the name.
the doctor Darville, O'Shine. So when you're saying these things, I want to know what's the intent. See, this interview is purposefully done. And I'm trying to find out what are they saying about Bahamian women, in particular, PLP Bahamian women. You ever see the PLP war room and who that filled with? Who do sometimes the gutter part and what gender is in that? You ever see the campaigning and who walks the ground and campaigns for the party? Do you ever see the one with the group within the PLP who is more active in doing things and activities? And that's all women. Mm-hmm. Women control the PLP, in terms of managing an operation. So when you have this narrative, you say, no. They lying on women. They lying on PLP women.
Okay, so two things.
They demure. mindful, nice.
They nice.
Go ahead, Aaron.
They nice. They nice people. I think they're all nice people who get caught up in a political culture that overwhelms them. Let me just say that here. I think all of these people are essentially nice people who get caught up in a political culture that overwhelms them to the point where I have to stick a pin and say, no, not demure.
They ain't demure?
No.
What is?
They ain't mindful.
They ain't mindful?
When they get ready.
They monsters?
When that war room, it's frightening.
They have one woman who's
It's concerning.
they have a woman campaigner from Grand Bahama.
Yeah, don't call nobody name.
I said woman campaigner.
I know, I just say.
I who name I was going to call it. I was going to call it. I was call the name. I said it's a woman campaigner
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Grand Bahama
I don't know who it is.
who moved from Canada. You see, who they import now to Nassau? They imported to Nassau to do campaigning work. Monster. The statistics are getting ready to finish the article.
I'm very concerned about the things coming out of the political party war rooms, and I think we should all be concerned because, right?
She's an army by herself.
Any entity or institution is only as strong as its weakest link, right? And there's a very great risk and danger that what happens at the base will be imported into not just the national politics, but into governance. And that's my concern. Again, I say I think all of these people are at heart nice people who've been overwhelmed by a nasty, even the prime minister.
Acknowledge that there's the culture.
Is feral.
It's a feral culture.
Yeah, but next I need him to acknowledge that the buck stops with him in causing, and particularly those who are members of his party, to govern themselves, to discipline themselves, to order themselves, and to moderate their behavior.
Let's finish read the article. Run from text, right? So I want to comment on the mudslinging comment made by the Prime Minister. Studies show that women engage in gossip at a higher rate than me, really? Which is simply another form of dirty politics. So kindly tell the PM to study sociology. These are the facts. And why is Mr. Vo even talking about equality? Equality is the ability to do something not being represented equally in numbers. And as far as I'm concerned, women are equally able to run. That person don't understand the conversation. Good morning, Miss Green. I'm Gary. I'm at the front desk. Oh, sorry. That's Gary at the front desk. Ms. Green, we stopped voting for candidates. We vote to remove prime ministers. This text says, hello, friends. That's chatting him there. Good morning, Aaron and CA. To Madam Speaker, Miss Patricia DeVoe, decision-making skills. Who would have liked to see women do more in Parliament when there are about 5 or more of them in the House? What did she do that was more memorable in the nearly 5 years? One more text here. Says, okay. And good leaders, not people who have PR tags attached to them. I, for one, do not want to see the PLP nominate Urban Renewal Reckley because, why would you even say Urban Renewal Reckley? She's a woman, even if she's very good lunch. That text is just vicious. Kermit, let's take a quick commercial break right now, and then when we come back, we continue the discussion on women in politics, in particular the PLP, and what we need to do to show affirmative action, what we need to do to secure their numbers. It should be an active work by the Prime Minister and Cabinet to include more women. Right? It can't be by chance. It has to be actively done. If we want 15 candidates, female candidates, we must work towards making the numbers, right? We have 7 now, right? We have a number of seats that the F&M side has, right, by male. We need to put women to run against them, try and increase their numbers, right? And we have a number of PLP MPs who say they're not working. Actively put women there. They're competent women in the PLP, right? Anyway, this is we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to be right back.
Just sign in and have a seat, please. They'll call you in for your x-ray shortly. That's why they call it a waiting room. You won't have that problem at 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor. We never schedule multiple appointment time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiologist can conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Boy, you know what's going down tomorrow?
Nobody, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Boy, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you want?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody. I ain't no snitch. I ain't cool, you know.
Boy, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, him and these boys coming for me next.
All right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did I boy?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the calls go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
And welcome back to Guardian Radio. Right now, I'd like to extend a happy birthday to my 30th birthday, actually, to my cousin Lauren Lowe. She's celebrating her 30th birthday. I also would like to read an excerpt from Tony Blair. Where is that?
You mean the Tony Blair?
Yeah, that English fellow. Where is that? I still have to go back to it. Go ahead, Aaron, until I find it.
Okay, so you want me to continue reading from the article PM Decries Dirty Politics, today's Nassau Guardian?
Okay, hold on. It's an excerpt from the article about Tony Blair's deliberate tactic to recruit more women for the 1997 UK election. Because of the deliberate decision to recruit more women, the number of women MPs doubled in that parliament year. I'll let you read that quickly, and then we finish that article there.
All right, here we go. The 1997 general election saw more women elected to the House of Commons than ever. 120, exactly double the 60 elected at the 1992 general election. Aside from the 101 Labour, 100 Conservatives, 3 Liberal Democrats, and 3 from other parties, including Speaker Betty Boothroyd, previously a Labour politician. However, many of the new female MPs grew disillusioned, and 9 either chose not to stand or lost their seats in the 2001 general election. Despite 2 female MPs winning by-elections between 1997 and 2001, and other women being elected, the total number of female MPs fell to 118 at the 2001 general election. A further 22 stood down or lost their seats at the 2005 general election, although the number of female MPs increased again to a new record of 127.
The point is, it falls with leadership. Whoever is the prime minister, when you include more women, when I actively seek more women, include more women, the numbers increase.
Right. If the PM is committed to it, it can be done. I think another thing that we could surmise from what we just read is that that even though women may become disillusioned, there are more women who are preparing themselves to offer in their stead, right? But I think generally people become disillusioned with politics. Good politicians do, right? And I think we've seen a number of, not a huge number, but a number of one-term politicians who actually probably were very good MPs, right? But out of frustration and an inability to do what they should be able to do, they decide not to offer again.
Okay, get ready to read. I have this text from a women's texter female texter says, the biblical culture is very male-oriented. Women are bullied, subject to sexual innuendos, unable to make difficult decisions, etc. This is not unique to the Bahamas. The PM, as leader of his party, is responsible for the culture of the organization. He should take the lead in changing that.
Okay, stick a pin. Don't go away from the text. Read the part again about sexual innuendo.
Okay. You say I should stay right there, right? It says the political culture is very male-oriented. Women are bullied, subject to sexual innuendos.
Stick a pin right there. Prime Minister touched on that specifically when he talked about the feral nature of Bahamian politics.
Remember that MP who had to go and threaten to sue criminal libel because someone suggested she was doing all kind of manner of things, sexual innuendos again? He said that women are going to constantly defend themselves in this environment. And again, there should be the prime minister, the leader of the party. I'm not using the prime minister here because the opposition have to go through the same thing. Who comes out and stands up for women. No, you can't be doing this to my member.
For those women specifically, and for women generally, right? Like, not only can you not do this to members of my party, not only can you not do this to members, MPs generally, I need you to know that you can't do this to anybody. That this behavior is not acceptable in any sphere, at any time.
Come out loud and say it.
Yeah.
And defend them. That doesn't happen in our culture. Let's finish read the article before the time runs out. Because I still want to read that Tribune one too.
Okay, we continue from the article, quote, or let me repeat the last sentence. We might surmise that respondents consider women to lack the ability to make hard decisions and be successful in the discussions which take place behind closed doors. Fielding observed. Quote, of note is that female respondents saw campaign finances as being a barrier for women. This suggests that it is harder for women than men to attract financial support to enter politics. Respondents thought that society lacked the confidence in women to lead, close quotes. The results showed that 69.1% of men and 69.7% of women concluded that politics is seen as a dirty game. 43.5% of women and 28.9% of men said women's lack of interest in political leadership is a result of a lack of campaign financing. As it relates to the reasons for the Bahamas not having a woman prime minister, 82% of females and 67% of males said it is because of a lack of ability to lead.
I say a lot, but let's question this. Again, I ask you the question. In the PLP, if you have to choose an MP who has spent more money, seemingly spent more money in their constituency.
That's a separate question from the first question you asked.
Yes.
Okay.
A female not female, if you have asked which MP, PLP MP, who has seemingly spent more money in their constituency through activities, whatever it is, who would you think of?
Glover Rule.
You think of Glover. Who would you think of secondly?
Bryce.
Leslie Bryce. And who would you think thirdly?
Colby.
All women. I purposely asked that question, but in terms of getting campaign support and spending, women are outspending the men. So I'm hearing these excuses, but what is being proven is the contrary. Someone is making up excuses to exclude women.
I think here's another nuance. Are the respondents saying we hesitate? We hesitate and we don't think other people are going to vote for women? Or is what they're really saying is that we ain't voting for any woman bringing this feminism vibe. Like, I like me a good old patriarchal woman, right? I like me a Merkel. I like me a Thatcher. I like me a woman PM who's more man than man, who's not afraid to do the hard things.
Let's quickly talk about that, because that's warranted. I understand that. But we had a number of women issues where we thought, where we pushed for, which we demanded that the female MPs speak on. There was that nice woman too, that Merkel. They followed a total lag about like every other male politician. They didn't speak out and say, "Well, I'm more feminist. I'm going to defend women's rights per se." They were quiet.
No. It's not a matter of coming out and saying that you're defending women's rights. It's a matter of implementing policies that create safer spaces for women. And the question is, in the absence of a vocal policy statement, did we see actual policy enactment and policy creation, right? That created safer spaces for women. Because our prime minister say a whole lot of positive things about women, propelling women forward, protecting women, women and girls and young boys all the time.
Yes.
But what we see is that for years there was a lobby for a gender-based violence bill, and for years there was a commitment to a gender-based violence bill, and then all of a sudden we had a prime minister that said, "Yeah, man, we constantly working on gender-based violence. You don't know about the Protection Against the Person Act, right?" It's like you speak really well, but you have a great difficulty actualizing or delivering the policy promises that you make.
Let's go to Tribune instead of finishing that one. And then, because we're running out of time, I just want to make sure that's in the record. Read that article there, please.
All right. PM, women must earn spot as MPs.
I don't like that term, must earn spot.
You telling me these boy them had to earn it?
They ain't earn it.
They had a competition?
There was no competition. See, I don't like that term, earn spot. The regular male MPs don't have to earn it, but the women them have to earn the spot.
I just say these boy them did something to...
They ain't do nothing. It was part of
But women in frontline politics. Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis said while he welcomes more women in frontline politics, nominations must ultimately be earned through merit and a commitment to public service, not gender. Quote, "I would like to see as many as I could have," close quotes, Mr. Davis said when asked how many women he wants the PLP to nominate ahead of the next general election. See, he should have had a firm number. Quote, "But, it is for them to come forward and for them to be able to win the hearts and minds of the electorate and the constituency."
They ain't getting nominated to get that far.
Sorry, they wish to run. For me, it's not just about running women candidates. It's about somebody who's willing to step forward, and the gender doesn't matter to me.
There are women who are willing to step forward.
We read that quote. Mr. Davis said the PLP has already placed women in key leadership and parliamentary roles and intends to build on that progress. No, we want you to place them in parliament, not parliamentary roles.
Muddy in the water. We ask for one thing and then you go to something else.
His comments followed House Speaker Patricia DeVos pushed for political parties to nominate at least 15 women in the next general election. Oh, so I'm so glad we read this other article because it suggests to me that he didn't even come up with this idea. Like, no, he didn't bring it to the fore.
He realized that the speaker said something and he had to snuff that out quickly.
She said equal rights must include women having an equitable seat at decision-making tables. Oh, look at that. She didn't say equal seat. She said an equitable seat.
Fair.
There's a difference between equality and equity.
Fair.
There you go.
Not just being there, but being fair.
Absolutely. Quote, "We talk about women having equal rights. Well, let's base that decision around us having equal rights to sit around the table and make decisions. And not just in small minorities, but in big."
You think she was challenging the Prime Minister?
No, not her. She's a good PLP.
But that's why she said she ain't sure she's running no more. You notice that? She ain't say she's not running. She said she ain't sure. In the same breath of saying that more women needs to run.
She said, often hostile nature of politics discourages many women from running, citing the intense scrutiny and emotional toll on their families. Quote, "You are attacked from all fronts, whether you do something good or bad. They find a flaw," close quote. She said.
What do you mean by all fronts?
Because the glass of water was in the front of her protecting her, but there was no water in the side of her protecting her that day.
I think that she knows that the front of the opposition, she's going to get attacked, but she didn't expect it to be internally. All fronts was attacking.
That's a reasonable speculation as well. Here's my thing, just to that point, right? It's other politicians, it's other politicos, it's other members of political mechanisms doing the attacking. Just y'all don't paint it like it's the general public that's making it hard for you to be a politician. It's politicians politicking that makes it hard for you to be a politician.
The woman say all
Quote,
front.
Quote, when you have children, a spouse, siblings, your family also bears the cost. Close quotes. Mr. Davis echoed that view, saying the toxic political climate pushes away capable people of both genders. Quote, that's a part of the problem, he said. Quote, you know the challenge in politics is that it becomes so feral. It's so feral that it drives not just good women but good men as well. So the good amongst us shy away from the dirt and the mudslinging that they hear, and it's always been my wish to see how we could clean this up. Close quotes. Two things, sir. It is an incapacity as a leader that you say these things, unfinished sentences. The buck stops with you.
You think Robin Lang would run again to be chairman?
I hope she does.
Do you think they're going to attack her again?
I know about bear spray and I know about moose spray. You know about chicken spray?
There's a famous quote by women who they should be safer with in the woods. Would it be safer with a man or safer with a bear?
Safer with a PLP or with a bear? Yeah. Who would you choose in the woods, woman? Yeah. PLP or a bear?
This has been Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry. Thank you very much, Aaron Green. Have a good day.
Yes, and thank you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.